Last week, we talked about color value, and I just kind of wanted to retouch up on some of what we talked about. Color value is the absolute lightness and darkness of a color, and it's independent of its hue and saturation. So you can take out hue, you can take out saturation. When you're looking at color value, all you're looking at is the brightness and darkness of that color. So as artists, how do we use value? One of the ways we can use it is contrast. And here you can clearly see how that works. Black often sinks to the back and will help lighter values pop out and catch your attention. And obviously you can see that that is very well represented. And here you can really see how value creates mood. It can create a sense of calmness. It can create a sense of drama. It can create a sense of mystery. Also, value can bring attention to the painting. The artist can use value to direct the eye to where you want the viewer to go. And this is Caravaggio's painting of the Calling of St. Matthew. Again, I just wanted to reemphasize how beautifully he used value in this painting. He used a high contrast value scheme here. And what that means is basically he uses the full range of the value scale from the darkest darks to the lightest lights. And it's just a wonderful representation of high contrast value. Also, I wanted to show this painting by Monet. It is the House of Parliament. And I wanted to talk about how he used high key value schemes. And high key tonal value really gives a sense softness. And Monet was well known for that. And if you take this and put it into grayscale, you'll see how close these values are together. There's maybe 3 values in this, maybe 4, 3 to 4 values. So you can see how the use of those values can change the mood of a painting. And it's really incredible. And when we get to our subject today, which is relative value, when we bring color into play, you'll see how color affects the contrast of the painting, how things sink back, how things are brought forward. So we're going to go over that in just a minute. Before we get there, I wanted to also show Monet's series on this, where he did another painting of the House of Parliament, but he did this in a low-key value structure. And you can see how just totally different this painting feels versus his high-key version. You can see here when I turn this to grayscale that the values are a little bit further apart. They're not just drastically apart, but they are further apart than his first one, as you can see. So those two are just great examples of how you can use tonal range in high key and in low key to set a mood for a painting. And the last one I wanted to show you is this one that Edward Hopper, he's one of my favorite artists. This painting, Nighthawks, is just, to me, is just incredible. His use of value in this painting and how he leads you is truly amazing. He used a high contrast tonal structure in this painting, so he covered, and that's one of my favorite ways to paint. I try my hardest, but I'm still working on it, to use a less contrasted value scheme. But as you can see here, wow, it's just incredible. He is using these lines of value incredibly well. The contrast that he is putting in this painting to instantly bring you right into these subjects, it is beautiful, and it will always be one of my favorite paintings of all time. So I just really wanted to hit on that. I love it. Obviously, if you can tell, I love this painting a lot. And so ended up doing a value study in Illustrator yesterday, just to try to play around with the values that he created, and how maybe I could incorporate different value structures, because myself as an artist struggle with really changing up my value structure. So I wanted to try to do a high key value scheme here, and you can see by the scale here, I only went to 65% of my darkness, and so you're really only talking about half of the value scale that's used here, and they go from 10 to 65, I believe. So this value scheme really just tends to have a soft, calm, lifting mood. You can see that in the difference between these two. You can see the contrast. You can just see how light this feels. And then I wanted to do a low-key tonal value structure. This is something that I want to work on also. It gives the feeling of the painting such a mysterious feel. You can see on the value scale that I stayed again about halfway, but I went the opposite direction. My lightest light is around 50%, and it goes all the way to 95% in the shadows. And you can just see what a different feel this gives the work. Just it gives it more of this moodiness, and it's just a great way to show contrast, mood, and attention that you can achieve with value. So this week I still wanted to focus more on color value. And you can see here we have our color wheel that we've made this term. This time I've added in gray values. Okay, so on a typical color wheel, the pure hues have their own native values. These colors vary in their values, yellows often appearing as the brightest. Our reds and greens fall more into the middle range of a value, and our violets and blues tend to fall into the darkest values that we see on the color wheel. So this week I've put together a bit of a game that we can use to see color value and try to determine which one of those swatches is the lightest. And after you look at those for 8 seconds, I'll reveal the answer to which one is the lightest. This game is going to be a great tool for you guys to use to build your skills and just looking at one color and determining what value it is. And it's going to be extremely useful for you guys as you guys progress as a designer and an artist. So in this game, you're going to see 2 swatches, and you're going to try to guess which one is the lightest of the 2. So without further ado, let's play the game.